What's going on, YouTube? Thomas L here. On Hulu now is the new space show titled The First, which stars Sean Penn as well, an astronaut. To be honest, I don't really know a whole lot about the show. I haven't really seen it, but I'll probably give it a go down the line, maybe whenever I get a chance. Because I do love Sean Penn. I think he's a tremendous actor, and yeah, I'll probably give it a shot. I mean, I'm glad to see Sean Penn slowly making a comeback because he hasn't really done a whole lot lately. So I decided to do pretty much my top 10 favorite Sean Penn movies because the guy's been around for a while. I mean, he was around in the 80s. He did stuff in the 90s, present day. He's been in a lot of good stuff. Some not so good, but we'll probably talk about some of the not so goods later on. Anyway, with that being said, here are my top 10 favorite Sean Penn movies. Coming in at number 10 is most likely an unpopular one, and that is Gangster Squad, which came out in 2013. Now, this movie got a lot of hate, and I admit I kind of really had fun with it. I mean, it was not at all that great, but I found it pretty enjoyable. Sean Penn played like famed gangster Mickey Cohen, and the film was also directed by Rupert Fleischer, who also has that Venom movie out next month. And as well, pretty much about like group of cops who are ready to take down the notorious leader Mickey Cohen. It had a pretty good cast here too. It had the likes of Josh Brolin, Ryan Gosling, Emma Stone was in this. Yeah, list goes on and on. Pretty amazing cast. And also, there was one scene in the movie I kind of still wish they would have had added. It was like the scene in the in like the first trailer that featured like a theater shootout. Of course, I understand why they decided to cut that out because it was around the same time as the Dark Knight incident. So I understand how come they decided to cut it out. But I admit that scene in the trailer actually kind of looked cool, really. But yeah, if you guys still haven't seen Gangster Squad, like Sean Penn really gave a good performance as Mickey Cohen, and the other cast was good. It's actually not that bad as people may actually be. I'll say if you haven't seen Gangster Squad, just give it a go. It's maybe you'll enjoy it. Coming in at number 9 is a 1995 film called Dead Man Walking. Now, I recently talked about this in my top 10 favorite nun movies, and like Susan Sarandon pretty much plays like a nun who is like comforting a convicted killer on death row, which is played by Sean Penn. The movie is based on a book and was directed by Tim Robbins, who of course was married to Susan Sarandon. Like, this movie was an interesting little film. Susan Sarandon and Sean Penn both worked well together. It had some good chemistry in this movie. Sorry about that. The late great Ollie Ermy appeared in this. It was like a nice little crime flick. Yeah, if you guys still haven't seen Dead Man Walking, I don't really want to talk much about it because I don't want to spoil much for those who haven't seen Dead Man Walking. But check it out. It's another really good little Sean Penn movie that got released like 95. I mean, it's a really good crime film. All right, coming in at number 8 is the 1998 movie titled Thin Red Line, which was, of course, a war movie that was directed by Terrence Malick, who also directed Sean Penn in another movie, or A Tree of Life with Brad Pitt. That's actually my honorable mention. It's not in my top 10. But the film, focused, conflict during the Second World War. It's a really interesting little war movie. This is definitely a Terrence Howard directed film. Terrence Malick. Why did he say Howard for? Anyway, you could tell this is a Terrence Malick film. I mean, his style. You can always tell when a Terrence Malick movie is a Terrence Malick movie. Like the style of the movie, the cinematography of the film, and this is no different. This is definitely a Terrence Malick film. It also had a pretty good cast. Like besides Penn, who was wonderful in this movie. The film had the likes of George Clooney, John Cusack, Adrian Brody was in this, Jim Caviezel. It was also pretty intense, not as intense as, let's say, Saving Private Ryan, but it was still an intense war movie. All right, coming in at number 8 is a 2008 film called Milk, which also stars Sean Penn with Josh Brolin. The film also had James Franco. Let me see who else was in this. Oh yeah, Emil Hirsch was in this. Victor Garber. Lucas Grabeel from High School Musical was in this. Nice. But of course, it's the story of Harvey Milk, who was like an American gay activist who fought for the gay rights and became California's first openly gay elected official. James Franco actually played the lover of Sean Penn. Those two worked pretty well together in this movie, and I think Sean Penn, he won an Oscar for this, if I'm not mistaken. I think either he or Mickey Rourke won that year. Gotta double check for that, but yeah, Milk was like a really good movie. It was directed by Gus Van Sant, who of course directed films like the Psycho remake. He did Good Will Hunting. He recently just put out that Don't Worry, He Won't Get Far on Foot movie. That was pretty good. I mean, he's a decent director, and he really did a good job with this movie. I mean, Sean Penn was just fantastic as the role of Harvey Milk. He really embodied of who Harvey Milk was. Like, if you guys still haven't seen Milk, it's another pretty good Penn flick. Coming in at let me see where I'm on. Number 6 is 21 Grams, which was directed by Alhiro Yanaricho. I almost butchered his name. But he recently directed Birdman and The Revenant, which he won an Oscar for both of those movies. The film is about a freak accident brings together a critically ill mathematician, played by Penn, as well as a grieving mother, played by Naomi Watts. And a convict, played by Benicio del Toro. This movie is really an interesting watch. Sean Penn gave a good performance. He worked well with Naomi Watts. He will also work well with Benicio del Toro. 21 Grams is an interesting flick to check out. If you guys still haven't seen it, I advise you to check out. It's pretty decent. Now, it's not as good as Irichu's other film, Birdman. That's probably my favorite in Irichu movie. But 21 Grams is definitely up there. All right, coming in. Coming in at number 5 is a 1988 crime movie titled Colors, which of course paired Sean Penn with Vo, and was directed by the late great Dennis Hopper. It's about an experienced cop and his rookie partner patrol the streets of East Los Angeles while trying to help the gang violence under control. This is a really fun 80s style crime film. I mean, Sean Penn and Robert Duvall both work well together. Cheetah was also in this movie. Man, Damon Wayans was also in this. Huh. Yeah, it's a really good crime movie. I mean, it's pretty much a buddy cop film, and it turns like 30 years old this year. And man, it's been that long since this movie came out. But yeah, if you guys haven't seen Colors, check it out. It's a really good crime police space movie. Coming in at number 4 is another gangster movie, and that is a 1993 film, Carlitos Way. Now, to be clear, I'm talking about the first film, not the terrible sequel that got released. I think it got released on home video or something. I don't know. Who cares? The sequel is terrible. The first film is where it's at. It was directed by Brian De Palma, who of course directed Scarface and Carrie and lots of other good stuff. It starred speaking of Scarface, it starred Al Pacino, Sean Penn, Penelope Miller, Luis Guzman was in this, John Leguizamo. Oh yeah, Viggo Mortensen was also in this movie. Yeah, this is a really cool little crime flick to check out. It's about like a Puerto Rican ex-con who pledges to stay away from his former drug dealing ways, but finds himself being dragged back into his past connections and the naive of his like lawyer, best friend. And he's also like hoping to raise enough money to get away from New York. So Carlito, played by Al Pacino, takes on the job of running a nightclub, and he renews an affair with a dancer played by Miller. And I don't really want to talk much about it because I don't want to spoil anything here, but because I don't know how many people really have still seen Carlitos Way. It's really good. It's pretty cool crime film. It had a really good cast in it. It's actually loads of fun. Like if you guys still haven't seen Carlitos Way, watch the first film, not the horrible straight to home video one. That one just was garbage. All right, coming in at number 3 is a 2003 Clint Eastwood directed movie, Mystic River, which also starred Tim Robbins, who, of course, directed Penn and Dead Man Walking. And the film was also directed by Dennis Lean. No, not directed. This movie is based on a book by Dennis Kane, who, of course, wrote the book for Gone Baby Gone, which also got turned into a movie. And the film's pretty much about like the lives of 3 men who were childhood friends, and like when one of them has as like a family tragedy. Besides Penn and Robbins, they had a pretty interesting cast that included the likes of Kevin Bacon, Lawrence Fishburne, Laura Linney was in this, Emmy Rossum way before Shameless. Yeah, the cast was amazing and had like really good performances. All due respect to Lord of the Rings, I still think this movie should have won the Oscar for Best Picture. It's just that fantastic. I mean, for one, to me, it has like better performances. No disrespect to Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is cool and all, but Mystic River, I thought had better performances. You know, like the pacing was really good. It had really good cinematography, amazing directing. Like this movie is just wonderful. I just rewatched it again. Like I think it was on HBO Cinemax or something. The movie's still an interesting watch. Like if you guys still haven't seen Mystic River, I advise you to watch it. You'll probably enjoy it. All right, coming in at number 2 is probably one of my favorite Penn performances, and that will be I Am Sam. Like I Am Sam is wonderful. I mean, this movie will seriously make you tear up. I mean, this is probably one of the most saddest movies that came out like in the 2000s. Like you had the likes of Sean Penn, Michelle Pfeiffer was in this, a young Dakota Fanning. What else was in this? Diane Reese was in this. Loretta Devine. Oh yeah, Laura Dern was also in this movie. Like Sean Penn plays like a mentally handicapped man who's trying to fight for custody of his 7-year-old daughter, and he also process teaches like his heart. He pretty much like tries to teach his cold heart Laura, played by Pfeiffer, the value of like his love and family. There's like a really touching scene where Sean Penn's character is reading to Dakota Fanning's character Green Eggs and Ham. That scene was pretty amazing. I mean, I think Sean Penn should have probably won an Oscar for this performance. He played the role just perfectly. I mean, if you guys still haven't seen I Am Sam, get some maybe some tissues while you're watching it because you will tear up. This is seriously one of most like Sean Penn's most touching films to come out in years, and it shows that Sean Penn could do more than just be like the bad boy he is in movies and all. I mean, he was just. I really love the chemistry between him and Fanning. Like the father and daughter relationship there worked perfectly. Michelle Pfeiffer was pretty good, but didn't really care for her character. But yeah, if you guys still haven't seen I Am Sam, it's just a wonderful watch. Alright, coming in at number 1 is one of my favorite teen comedies, and that is the 1982 high school comedy Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Oh man, I love this movie so much. I mean, whenever it's on TV, I'll just watch it time and time again. If it wasn't for this movie, we probably won't have stuff like American Pie or even Blockers or anything like that. Like, I love Sean Penn in the movie. Like, he plays pretty much like a stoner here, and like his character is completely dumb, but he plays the role perfectly. Of course, it's a high school film about like teenagers who are enjoying like the most important subjects of their career, like of their high school life, including like there's sex, there's drugs in this, there's even rock and roll. Gotta love rock and roll. Sean Penn plays pretty much a stoner here. I love the scene where they're in class and Sean Penn calls like a pizza guy and the pizza just comes into class like that. I'm like, dang, dude, you just order pizza in class? I never even thought of doing that. Of course, if that came out today, he would have easily done it like on his phone or something. But come think of it. I wonder how he even I was wondering how did he even call the pizza delivery guy without a phone, like without a cell phone. Anyway, also this movie has some really darn good scenes. Of course, one in particular is the Phoebe Cates scene. Yep, the Phoebe Cates scene. Anyone who's seen Fast Times at Ridgemont High, y'all know what I'm talking about. I mean, what? Kevin Kline, he's one lucky dude. I mean, Phoebe Cates in this movie, hubba. Like seriously, I mean that scene was just. I mean, yeah. If you guys watch Fast Times, you guys probably know what scene I'm talking about. Anyway, back to the movie now. But if you guys still if you guys want to see older high school movies, before cell phones and Facebook and all came into tuition, watch Fast Times at Ridgemont High. It's so darn funny. The characters are really enjoyable. Yeah, I just plain love this movie. I can imagine if it comes out now, if Fast Times was remade today, there'll be lots of social media talk and all that. Because I mean, this came out in the '80s, so of course there was no talk about social media and all. But yeah, but if you guys still haven't seen Fast Times, it's seriously one of the funniest '80s comedies out there. All right, that's pretty much it for my top 10 favorite Sean Penn movies. Let me run down the list. Number 10, Gangster Squad. Number 9, Dead Man Walking. Number 8, The Thin Red Line. Number 7, Milk. Number 6, 21 Grams. Number 5, Colors. Number 4, Carlitos Way. Number 3, Mystic River. Number 2, I Am Sam. And number 1, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Now, there's lots of other interesting Sean Penn movies. Let me pull up his filmography. Movie Bad Boy he was in was pretty good. Not to be confused with the Will Smith and Marlon one, but in the '80s he did like a comedy called Bad Boy. That one was called Bad Boy, by the way, so you don't get any confusion. He was on Taps, which had young Tom Cruise in it. He was also in Angry Birds. I always keep forgetting he was in Angry Birds. Ugh, Gunman. No, thank you. Eric Game was not that good. Penn has also been in tons of crap too, like the aforementioned Gunman. Gunman was just horrible. U-Turn was pretty decent. Yeah, pretty much go down the line of Sean Penn movies. National Laddies of War with Michael J. Fox. That was good too. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, let me leave it to you guys. What are your favorite Sean Penn movies? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is Thomas L. signing off.